We are thrilled to be joined by the artist who just sang that musical excerpt. She hails from New York. She won the Met's National Council auditions, which led to her debut in 1995 in Wagner's Parsifal. She stepped in a year later for Marilyn Horne in a production of Falstaff, which really put her on the map. It's been said that she has sung everything from Handel to Wagner, but it's way more than that. She was Gertrude Stein in Ricky Ian Gordon's 27. She's been Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. She's been Cadishaw in Mikado. She was Kate Smith in her own fantastic one-woman show about Kate Smith. But that's just talking about her singing. Her acting is a whole nother story. I'll just simply say, for those of you who saw her go head-to-head with Kathleen Turner in last year's production at the Met of Daughter of the Regiment, was hysterical. We are so happy she's here. Stephanie Blythe, thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. It's lovely to be here.
Wow. So I could talk to you for about an hour, but we only have a few minutes because the Met broadcast stream starts right after this.
Sure.
First of all, you sang with Dimitri. Any remembrance of him?
I did my very first Met Ulrika with him, but it was the old Ballo and Maschera that we had. Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing experience. You know, he was the kind of colleague that you just kind of listened to him sing and sort of were gobsmacked the whole time. You know, he had just an extraordinary voice and could use it to this remarkable ability. And one of the things that I loved about him most was he had breath control for days. I have never, ever heard anyone who could stretch out a phrase like he could. And he was always 100% in the character, really playing with you. Always, whenever we did a scene together, he was always right there in it. And you never looked in his eyes and thought, oh, he's thinking about what to sing next. He was always with you in the moment. And I miss him terribly. He was a magnificent colleague.
Wow, amazing. Now I have to ask you, I've been following you on Facebook. You've been doing these sort of home living room concerts on your ukulele, and they are fantastic. I saw one of them with Anne Murray. You sound like Anne Murray. You have this essential vocalism that goes anywhere from Anne Murray, Frank Sinatra, all the way to, Birgit Nilsson. I don't know how you do it, but maybe we'll talk about that maybe in another longer segment. But tell us about how you started doing these living room concerts.
Well, I've been putting up, every once in a while, putting up a video of myself singing something on the ukulele for the last couple of years. I started playing ukulele after, not long after I started doing my Kate Smith cabaret show, which is a show that Craig Terry and I wrote and first performed in 2011. And then we did for PBS in 2013, and we've performed it all over the country. And I had said to Craig, all of these songs, because they're, we're talking about music from the 30s and 40s. A lot of this music, Tin Pan Alley music, was written on ukulele. And wouldn't it be nice if I could play one song on ukulele? So opening night, actually, of 2011, as part of the Lincoln American Songbook series, Craig gave me my first ukulele. And I looked at it and I thought, these fingers are never going to be able to play a soprano ukulele. And I put it down. I mean, I didn't know how to play, so I kind of put it down. And later on, I picked it up again. And when I was tuning it, I broke the G string. I mean, it just happened. So I thought, I'm going to get some new strings for this. I'm going to look at some other ukuleles. And I ended up buying a tenor uke. And one summer while I was at Tanglewood, I started to just take lessons online and started playing. Now I have 13 ukuleles.
Wow.
And I love to play.
Education, you've been working with Tanglewood and
Yes.
College with young artists. What advice would you give an artist? It seems like there's so much competition. Everyone is so well prepared. What advice would you give a young artist trying to make it today?
Well, I think that a young artist trying to make it today has obstacles that I don't think a lot of people have had for a very long time. A pandemic is a big obstacle, and this is going to affect us for a good long time. And I tell my students at Bard that one thing that we have to remember is that your goal has not changed. Your route may have changed. The way you get there will be different, might be different, but you cannot alter your dreams. You have to stick with them, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you can get what you need in order, all the skills that you need in order to realize your dreams. And right now, one of the best things that we can do as singers is to spend time with our voices and to either get to know them again or to really get to know them in the first place. And that is something that we have to do sitting in front of a piano alone anyway. So now that we have this time, this precious time on our own, to really sit and really sing and really get to know our voices. You know, singing lots of scales and long tones and exercises, learning new repertoire. This is a time for building and preparing yourself for that moment. One of the things that's really, really important is that when we are faced with that moment, and all of us have it in our lives, where you just, all of a sudden, everything becomes very clear. And something arrives in your life and you have to be ready for that moment. For me, it was stepping on from Marilyn Horne in Falstaff at the Met. I was ready. When that moment came, I was ready for it. So I think that this is a time of preparation and process. And that is always a good thing in art. It's a very, very important step in creativity. It's just that process.
Well, Miss Stephanie Blythe, you have made my day. You dropped some pearls of wisdom. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.